So it's been a little over a year since I finished this IKEA kitchen renovation. How did it hold up? What would I do differently, knowing what I know now? That's what I want to talk to you about today. The reason why we even need a video like this is because IKEA has a reputation for making cheap and flimsy products. But that wasn't my experience with this kitchen. I think if you install it well, this kitchen should last you a very long time. Let's be clear about what is IKEA in this kitchen. The cabinets, the door fronts, the cabinet hardware, and this one single track light above the sink. I'll point out the parts that are flimsy.
We're here to make basic pizza dough, just like
it's the cabinet backing. It's like thick cardboard that you tack on with some nails. If you constantly bump this, of course it's gonna go right through eventually. If I install another IKEA kitchen, I would reinforce this during the assembly before you put up the cabinets, just so you can future-proof it. That's it though. I'm finding that the rest is pretty rugged, but again, it comes down to the quality of your install. I'm also happy to report that there's been no staining on the door fronts, and I've spilled all sorts of things on the door fronts. There is one cabinet that gets by far the most use. I store all my plates and cups in it, along with the cutlery, so it's opened several times a day under a lot of strain. Everything works perfectly still, closes as softly as it did on day one. If I'm really gonna nitpick though, I would say the one imperfection right now is the screw on the back of the door pull. Sometimes both of these will open at the same time, and to save time, I'll just push the cabinet door to close everything at once. The screw that holds the door pull makes contact with the drawer, and it left this scratch. If these bumpers were a little bit thicker, that would be perfect. Let's talk about my experience in this kitchen and what I would do differently after one full year. This list isn't entirely about IKEA. Some of it is, and some of it comes down to the kitchen design. Wherever possible, I would opt for door hinges that open wider. The standard hinges aren't ideal if you want to have pull-out drawers in your cabinets. The door partially blocks the opening of the cabinet, even when it's swung wide open. For narrower cabinets like this one, which is 15 inches wide, it's not easy to reach or see the items in the back. A pull-out drawer would make this so much more useful. It's still possible to swap out the hinges, but the money is already spent. Going forward, I would plan out the use of these narrow cabinets during the design stage before making the investment. A lot of microwaves have an optional trim kit you can buy separately. It makes the microwave look built in, but it's not cheap. The trim kit itself can be more expensive than the microwave. That's unfortunate for me because mine is still in the box. It won't fit in the cabinet. I have a 24-inch wide cabinet for my microwave, so I bought the 24-inch trim kit without measuring anything. Well, it doesn't fit, and I can't return it because it was a special order. I'm not terribly devastated because I still like the way it turned out, but that was money well wasted. I screwed in a 2x4 in the back to prevent the microwave from sliding back every time I shut the door, so it's held in position very nicely. If there's any way to salvage this trim kit, please let me know. I would be more than happy to put it to use. Just before we go any further, if you're getting any value out of this, please help me out with a like. It really helps small channels like mine get noticed on the algorithms. So I didn't build a spice rack for this kitchen. My plan all along was to use this middle drawer here for that purpose. The problem I encountered almost on day one was with taller bottles. Let's look at the olive oil, for example. It sits up on the countertop not because it's on display, but because it's too tall for the drawer. I have sugar that lays flat for the same reason. If you're going to install this hidden upper drawer, you should just be mindful of the height that you're going to lose and plan for that accordingly. If this really continues to bug me, I might convert that narrow drawer into the spice rack. It's got good height and it would free up this middle drawer for more pots and pans. Let's talk about the white sink. I will never install a white sink ever again. It's so much work to keep white. Coffee stains it, sauces stain it, almost everything it seems will stain it. I use Clorox with bleach to remove the stains, so it's possible to keep white, but it consumes so much of my mental energy. It's 100% not rental friendly for a landlord, so definitely don't install it into any income property. After installing this, I bought the grid for it, and that's helped a lot because it allows the water underneath to drain freely and not get caught up on whatever's in there. Overall, I never want to install a white sink again because it requires so much effort to keep it looking good. I've installed a black sink in a rental, and you know what? After a couple of years, that doesn't look that great either. So I think going forward, I'm sticking with the tried and true stainless steel sinks. The next time I build a kitchen, I am 100% putting down heated floors. I thought about this long and hard for months leading up to it, but I just didn't think it would be worth the investment. Now that I've gone through one full winter with this kitchen, I can see how the heated floors would have improved my life. The obvious benefit is the comfort you feel on your feet when you walk on it, but actually it's all that radiant heat from it that I wish for more. It's like a giant hot plate radiating heat into this open concept room where I spent literally 100% of my waking time in. So as it gets colder, I don't have to turn on the furnace and heat the entire house just so that I can be warm in this one room. The radiant heating is providing heat specifically to where I am, and it's much more energy efficient that way. I'll know this for next time.